This is the plaintiff, Craig Solomon. He says he and the defendant were in business together for a short time, but she left and started her own competing business and tried stealing his clients. She also stole a computer, almost had him arrested for stalking her. And if you ask him, there's something very, very wrong with the woman. He's suing for $10,000 for a laptop, lawyer's fees, loss of profit, loss of income due to defamation, and punitive damages. This is the defendant, Mary Celeste Eklund. She says she left the plaintiff's company because he tried to get her to sign a contract where he would literally own her for 3 years, and she wasn't about to do that. That creepy guy even broke into her Facebook account by impersonating her and went through all her personal conversations. To this day, he's making money off her image without permission, and that is a criminal offense, which she intends to pursue after this court date. She is accused of mixing it up with a business partner.
All parties, please raise your right hands. The People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Leon is now presiding. Be seated and come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Craig Solomon, doing business as Concierge Photo. You are suing Mary Celeste Eklund for $10,000. According to you, your damages actually exceed that statutory maximum in your state of Oregon. For damages that you say you sustained because of business practices of hers and breaching some agreements that the two of you had. Tell me what happened.
Thank you, Your Honor. Appreciate the opportunity. I met Miss Eklund at a theme shoot we were co-hosting.
A theme shoot? What kind of theme?
I'm a photographer in Oregon, and we host and put on different theme shoots. We just did a zombie shoot 2 weeks ago where people came and got dressed up as zombies, and we photographed the event and invite other makeup artists and photographers, and they all buy in, and at the end they get copies of their images back, and we put together a book that they get to have and show themselves as being published. I met her at an event we did back on April 5th of 2013.
Okay, so you meet her how? Because she's one of the models?
She's one of the models that signed up for the shoot.
Okay, so go on.
So we got along fine. We did really well, and I thought it would be nice to have somebody represent me in the Seattle area, and she was very excited to do that.
So you suggested to her what?
That she come work for me and represent me in Seattle to be my local person there, because there's a lot more business. So she agreed, and she said in order to do this, she needed a laptop. So I just bought a laptop for another use, and I gave her that laptop along with a promissory note for her to sign, which she did sign at that time.
Do you have it?
I do have the promissory note.
May I have it?
A lot of paperwork, sorry. Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome to my world. It's basically saying this is not a personal computer. Don't share it with anybody. This is for our business. In the course of business with us, if at any time I need it or our business ends, you will return it to me unharmed. You did sign this? Okay, so then what happens?
She started working on the next theme shoot, and we developed together a concept. She wanted to do a shoot up in Linwood, Washington. And she contacted me about the shoot, and we set this up. Now, this was going to be along the lines of the shoot she does and likes. It was a BDSM fetish shoot.
Because that's what she normally does?
That's her background in the goth and BDSM community. That's where she's very active.
Okay. Now, when you say we developed, what do you mean?
Well, we decided what we're going to do, where we're going to host it, how much we're charging the photographers, and what the product will be once the shoot is over.
Okay.
So once we decide on a theme shoot.
Okay, but you were really good about getting the whole laptop thing in writing. Did you guys have an agreement as business partners in writing before you started developing this whole thing?
We were just starting to rough it out, and then we put together a contract based on what we discussed. And then I sent her the contract, and that's when it really started hitting the fan.
Okay, and why did it hit the fan? What was her objection? Why don't I ask you, what was your objection?
The contracts were absolutely ludicrous.
Okay, and how were they
3-year non-compete, the inclusion of my 20-year career. He was laying claim to work that he had no claim to.
How do you mean laying claim to work? Let me see it.
He was basically laying claim to the entirety of my career.
So he wanted you to not only stop working on your own, but stop working for 3 years after you stopped working for him. Had that ever been discussed between the two of you? In other words, when he says, well, we were fleshing it out and then, you know.
No.
Okay, so then now what happens?
Well, the issue I have.
Normally the way this would work is she would say, I'm not signing this. This isn't what we talked about. And then that's it. You both go your own ways.
And that's what I really hope for.
But that's not what happened. What happened instead?
She started calling and doing manic things. She said that I was outside of her house trying to break in when I was on Waikiki Beach and she knew I was there. She wrote me all sorts of things and posting stuff on Facebook, saying that I'm impossible to work with and that she's taking the shit over.
Yeah, but wait, that all happens after a problem arises. When did the problem arise and what was it about?
She doesn't say.
Okay.
She just says, I'm quitting, I can't do this anymore.
Did you call the police and tell them that he was trying to break into your house?
After he stole my Facebook page and impersonated me.
Are you referring to your personal Facebook page?
Yes, I am.
How does he steal your Facebook page?
Apparently, he dug up my password from one of his. Well, I used one of his computers when I went to Albany to start this partnership. I thought I deleted my information, but apparently I didn't because he ended up with my Facebook page.
How did you find out that he had, quote, hijacked your Facebook page?
I couldn't log in, and then one of the photographers that I shoot for contacted my husband with screen caps of him impersonating me.
Do you have any evidence about what you're talking about?
I have tons.
Did you steal her Facebook page?
Yes and no in a different sense.
Why did you steal her Facebook page?
She went to Facebook using, after she quit, this is a month or so later, using the concierge photo email, trying to take over my Facebook page, trying to take over the company's Facebook page because she was trying to use it to steal my business.
Wait, no, she says her personal Facebook page. Did you hijack her personal Facebook page?
Not in that regard.
What is not in that regard? That's a yes or a no. I don't deal in these, this crazy, it's yes or no. Did you use her password,
no,
which you had in your house because she had worked in your house, and then get into her personal Facebook page and hijack her Facebook page? There's not in that regard. I don't understand what that means. It's a yes or a no.
With that description, the answer is no.
Well, tell me what description. The answer is yes.
She was contacting Facebook to try to get all the password changed for my site so she can take over my business.
Did you try to do that to him?
No, ma'am. I was on top of a mountain.
I'm sorry?
I was on top of a mountain teaching my son how to fish. I wasn't even
Can
home.
I see the...
I
don't even know how to go about figuring out if either one of them is anything less than crazy. Can I see the... Let's go. He says... No, wait. We're going to take this step by step.
Sorry.
Because this is what he says happened first, so I want to see that. And then I'm going to ask you to show me what you've got that shows that he tried to... Well, he kind of admits it. Okay. So you got a correspondence from Facebook saying that your password was changed on July 16th when you were clearly not working together. Did you do this?
This is my personal
Listen
page.
up. Did you do this?
No. And this is my personal page.
I'm asking you if you had an email that was jen@conciergephoto.com.
Never had access to it.
Did you try to get access to it on 7/16?
No.
According to you, he takes over your personal account.
She has it, that's why.
And does what?
Starts impersonating me, starts going through my personal chat logs.
And doing what? Impersonating you, saying what?
He admitted to stealing the laptop as if he were me. He spoke to a photographer that I work for and acted as if he were me from my personal Facebook page.
Did you do that?
I did do that.
You did do that?
I did.
Oh my God, you're like vicious little children.
This lawsuit was filed 3 days before I took him to court for a restraining order because I'm absolutely terrified of this man.
What else did he do?
He went through my chat logs. He defamed my character, shared my personal information with people. He's telling people that he received a $12,000 judgment as far as this case. I've had 4 people come to me in the last week.
Did you end up doing the event?
Yes, I did.
Was the event in the location that the two of you had picked together?
We didn't pick the location together. I picked the location. I did all of the work for the event, and the location was at a bondage store owned by a very good friend of mine.
What is this?
That's her at the event.
Ugh, man, that looks like it hurts.
It does, but it pays well.
Now, you are part of your lawsuit for lost wages, et cetera, is that she defamed you.
Right.
Part of it is she had this event, so I want the profits. I want, because it's my event. And part of it is you have loss of income because she defamed you.
Correct.
And then the third part of it is I want to be reimbursed because I had to represent myself in an anti-stalking case. So let's talk about the loss of business. How much money did you make at that event?
I made no money. I was actually out of pocket.
Okay. And then now let's talk about the loss of income due to defamation. Tell me where that comes in.
She started posting all this stuff online that says I have predatory business practices, and using her and her husband's account, they posted everything and sent emails out that I sexually abuse models. Sent one to my wife that I'm having an affair with models. Posted online that I take naked pictures of children and post them online.
Okay, can I see all that? Did you do that?
I did send an email to his wife regarding the advances he was making to me.
You sent an email to his wife saying what? Can I have that?
Sure can.
That part of the reason I dissolved our partnership is because he wouldn't stop hitting on me.
Why did you do that other than just being vicious?
Because he shouldn't be allowed to be able to do this to people.
But
Stealing my Facebook and stalking me.
Right, so you were being vicious.
Yes, I was.
Okay, so let's see
Absolutely.
what he sends the wife. Thought you would be interested to know that Craig sleeps with his models. He tried to sleep with me without success. And when I ended our partnership due to his continued sexual advances, but you didn't end the partnership because of continued sexual advances. I've been at this for quite a while, and not once in this trial have you said that. You ended it because you felt he was trying to take business advantage of you and usurp it. So this is just a complete lie intended to ruin his marriage.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So do you think breaking into somebody's Facebook page is a crime?
Yes, I do.
Why?
Because it's a moral crime. I mean, that person trusted you with their information, and for you to break that privacy.
Well, lawyers can't be bothered with moral crimes. Is it a legal crime?
I think it is. It breaks down the person and it makes them look bad as well as you. It really breaks down trust and getting jobs.
But it's not like stealing money or anything like that. Do you think it's a crime?
I think it is a crime. Completely. I think it's
Is it like stealing money?
it's stealing someone's identity because you're lying about who they are.
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to get back to that. That's a good point. Going inside the courtroom.
So she does this, and how does she defame you? I see how she messes with you. How does she defame you?
The one below, too, that I take pictures of children, naked children.
Okay, now what is this one?
This was the zombie shoot that I just told you about, and that's her boyfriend.
Okay, but wait. This is the page that you created on Facebook for the zombie shoot that you did that had nothing to do with her.
Nothing to do with her. This is.
And she writes a comment on your zombie shoot page under the name.
This is my husband, and I didn't write any comment.
Can't believe people still work with a guy who shoots nudes of minors.
My husband did write that.
Your husband did write that?
Yes, he did. He's angry.
It doesn't matter. You understand?
I get that it doesn't matter to you.
You have a right to go through the legal channels. You don't have a right to make up that someone is sexually molesting children.
I didn't post that.
You're right. If she didn't post that, you have no proof she posted it. You assume that she posted it in her husband's name. This is very actionable, and you should definitely go after her husband because she just testified that her husband did post that. So you need to go after her husband and call her as a witness to testify against him because she just said he did it. I know he did it. He did it because he was angry. Okay.
Well, then she filled a stalking order out against me because our lawyer and the police were trying to get her address.
When was the stalking order filled out?
After he stole my Facebook page and started impersonating me.
May I see the stalking order, please? What did you say in the stalking order?
That he stole my Facebook and impersonated me, was handing my personal information out. I paraphrased because I had just written a 2-page police report hours before.
Okay, so on this page, she says that she works at the Mercury nightclub in St. Edward's Seminary, except for that you don't work at the Mercury nightclub.
Yes, I do.
That's your place of business? You have a W-2 coming from those places?
I have potential to shoot there in December for the second.
I have potential to shoot there in December is not I work there. The question is, and this is a problem. Stop. The question is, and this is a problem because this turns you from innocent victim to crazy person who's trying to affect his business. He had a shoot scheduled at the seminary already.
The shoot that I was supposed to be working.
So if you in a conniving fashion tell the judge that you work at a seminary where you don't work, what you've done is you've stopped him. You're messing with his business.
That's not what I said.
You need to close your mouth and listen. Then it becomes you being a victim of his vicious practices to you deserving each other. Because if you right there, you can't come within distance of my residence or my workplace. And then you list in workplaces, places that you know he has a photo shoot. What were you doing at St. Edward's Seminary
I was supposed to be at the same photo shoot. This is the second half of the book that I was published in for the first shoot that we met at.
First of all, this one got dismissed anyway, so you didn't stop. You didn't have to stay away from anywhere because it ended up getting dismissed, right?
It did end up getting dismissed.
Did you have to hire a lawyer?
I did.
Okay, show me the proof that you paid for getting the anti-stalking case dismissed. Did you actually have a hearing?
Yes, I had to go all the way up to Washington and bring witnesses down.
Did she come?
She did.
And then both of you testified, and then the case ended up getting dismissed?
Correct.
Show me the proof of the money you spent defending the stalking case. Sir, you have handed me a copy of the small claims page and some police business cards.
Yes, what I was
That is not the proof of your expenses in the anti-stalking case. Do you have lawyer's bills? Do you have any, I just want you to prove your expenses. Can you do that?
No.
If you want $1,200, which I am imminently prepared to hand to you, I am imminently prepared to force her to pay your anti-stalking charge, because I am looking at this and I am seeing that, in fact, her effort to use the court system to get a restraining order was nothing more than to make sure you didn't get to go to the seminary. So I am there. I am ready to hand you the keys to your judgment, at least that part of it. And what have you done? You've come to court without one scintilla of evidence of what you spent.
Okay, I understand that.
So you tell me, how did you come up with $1,259.50?
The mileage going up there, bringing the people down, I had to pay their expense.
Can you prove what you paid in expenses?
No.
Who's they that you had to bring down?
The two witnesses.
And you paid them for their testimony?
I paid them for their travel time and food.
Okay. Do you have proof that you paid them for their travel time, canceled checks?
No.
Do you have affidavits from them that they got paid for their travel time?
No.
All those things are within your power, aren't they? Loss of business and punitive damages and loss of profit. How are you going to prove that you are entitled to $7,000 in those figures? And she claims there's no profit.
We can let the Linwood event go. If she claims there was no profit, I can't be there to say for sure. So we can let that go.
Where's the computer? That's the computer? Is that the computer case?
This is mine.
Your case?
I paid for this out of my own money.
Douglas, bring me the computer. All right. As to your lawsuit about the laptop, I am handing over the laptop to you now. As to your lawsuit about the anti-stalking case, because I find that there was an improper use of judicial resources in order to keep you from a shoot that you were involved in at the seminary by claiming that was her workplace when it clearly wasn't her workplace. As I see from the evidence from the seminary, I am going to award you $500 because you're fatally, I have to guess at a figure and do a little rough justice because you've come in here with nothing but to prove what it is that you actually sustained. As to your lawsuit for defamation and loss of business, when I ask you why it is you're suing for that, you keep stating the email, two things. One, where she says that you have predatory business practices, but you can't prove that you've actually lost any income because of it, and that's her opinion. And two, that there's a post by her husband, which she admits her husband did, saying that you photograph children in the nude. That would certainly be actionable against the person who did it. And you have no evidence that she's the one who did it, but you do have evidence from her that her husband's the one who did it. So I assume that you'll be taking that to a different court of law against a different person. And as for the punitive damages, that's like traditionally for someone who has been so wronged by such dirty practice by somebody else that, you know, you just want to send a message. I want to send a message to both of you. That's what I want to do. The whole idea behind punitive damages is you are so wrong that I want to punish you and make you pay more. You are both so wrong that I would like to punish you. And I wish that there was some way that I could put you in a business timeout for a year. Make both, it's not funny. I don't know why you're smiling. At least she's pouting when I'm telling her that. Both of you are just demented. It's pathetic. I hope this isn't the way you actually run your lives. I hope this was an isolated incident that somehow made you both crazy. Therefore, I'm awarding the laptop to you, and I'm awarding you $500 in expenses for the anti-stalking case, and I wish you both well.
Well, the plaintiff was even smiling during the verdict, but the defendant on this side obviously not smiling. What's going through your mind right now?
I'm just humiliated. I'm just humiliated. This is ridiculous. I'm ashamed of myself. I'm ashamed of this. This is.
Where does it go from here then? I understand that sentiment on your part. I think we all do, but now what?
For me, I'm done. I just want a clean slate. I want to not be associated with, I just want my life back.
How did it get this far?
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Take it easy. We're heading right around the corner this way. So you come on in here and you see that?
A little emotional. Yeah.
What about you?
I'm a little upset in both directions. It never should have gotten this far. When she,
How did it?
All I had to do was, when she quit, was just to return the laptop and go our separate ways. But she kept going online, defaming me, saying bad things, and you can see what her husband posted about me. And when those things happen, people run far.
You bought into the obsession too on your side.
As the anger got to a point that I actually cracked at one point, I actually fell to her level for 1 second. I shouldn't have done it, but sometimes once it gets here, things have to explode, and I did one silly thing. So,
what do you think, Harvey?
Do you know what? She was right. There's actually a crime called criminal impersonation, where you're impersonating somebody and you're doing things that impact them. In many states, that's a crime. And by going into their Facebook page, pretending like you're them, and then doing things on that page could well constitute a criminal offense. And that will do it for this case. Litigants, for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.